Morning! Hope you guys are doing well. It's another beautiful day here in the south of France, and today we're doing a video with this guy and his gorgeous Lamborghini Huracan, which we've had now for 2 months, and we've been seeing on so many road trips and just seeing it around loads. But I've never done a full video on the Lamborghini Huracan and this specific one. We're going to talk more about what you've done to the car and what you're going to do to the car when we hop into it. But I've absolutely loved cruising with this over the last few months and having it in my driveway. Yeah. I've had friends coming over and being like, oh, you've got a Lamborghini, and I'm like, yeah, I do. Yeah, that's mine. But anyways, yeah, so the Lamborghini Huracan, your car, it's absolutely stunning. It's a two-wheel drive.
It is the rear-wheel drive version.
Yeah, LP 580. But you know what? Let's hop into the car and let's have a proper chat about it. So we're in your car now. Yes. Which you've had for 2 months.
Yes.
So, as we said, 580 horsepower, two-wheel drive, dual clutch gearbox. Yeah. One of only, you mentioned once 20, is that correct, in the UK, two-wheel drives? When you got your car, at least?
Yeah, it's such a difficult one because dealers get like very small allocations on these cars. Yeah. They recently released a Spider. I think they're around 20 to 25, but that is like a guess. But I know of only 2 orange ones.
And 2 orange ones, and the colour's called?
Arancia Borelli. It's 3-layer metallic.
It's beautiful.
It's stunning.
And what made you decide, okay, that's the one for me?
It was a really difficult one because I got thrown into the position of replacing the AMG GTS because that got sold so quickly, and I really wasn't.
That was spontaneous.
I really wasn't planning on selling it. And after the AMG GTS, I really wanted a rear-wheel drive car. Yeah. But I've always wanted a Lamborghini, and this kind of it didn't squeeze into my budget. I had to borrow many thousands of pounds, and win the lottery. But this was the car that actually fit the budget. And
you've been talking about this for so long.
I know. And I was only going to buy a rear-wheel drive Huracan because the 610-4 for me just doesn't cut it.
And what are they on second-hand market? Are they similar sort of price?
Yeah, and there's quite a large demand for the rear-wheel drive cars. Like,
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah,
and especially at this time of the year, like probably during November. Yeah, maybe not, but during like April, May, with the summer coming, people are actually a rear-wheel drive.
Could be fun. Yeah,
sounds like a good idea.
And so you have this car. You put the engine bay slats on it.
Yeah,
just purely for the aesthetical.
Exactly. Yeah, it actually weighs more than the glass engine bay.
Yeah, but it does. I agree with you. It does look very cool.
It's very Miura-esque. Yeah. But this car came from the factory with the silver 20-inch Mimas wheels. Came with the glass engine bay. Yeah. Like huge optional extras, which I actually just said, just paint over the wheels. Yeah. And
put the engine slats. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. But okay, so those are your first modifications. Yeah. You then put the stripe on and PPF'd it. Yep. With Dove Customs.
You got to paint. I wanted to keep it orange. Yeah. Because it is such a typical Lamborghini colour. Yeah. That I was like, I don't want to wrap this car. So PPF straight on.
And that takes nothing away from the depth of the colour or anything like that.
No, it almost enhances it because it's such a glossy PPF that actually enhances it, because essentially you clean the car to an impeccable point and then just laminate over it so that it maintains that underneath.
Impeccable cleanliness. Okay, so there was that and the stripe.
The Balboni stripe.
Which is such a good call.
Everyone
completely
that I meet,
changed it.
Everyone that I meet is like, the stripe just sets the car off. It makes it totally different to any other Huracan that's out there. Yeah. And it kind of just ties in nicely to the fact that it's a rear-wheel drive car. Yeah. And homage to Valentino Balboni from the Gallardo, moving it onto the Huracan.
It looks amazing. And then, last but not least, if I crack the window,
and I put it in sport.
And you put it in sport, you did the exhaust. Which sounds absolutely unreal. So this is a Brooks Race exhaust, which you kind of designed and customized for yourself.
Yeah, because this Lamborghini, because it was the first sort of, well, I had, kind of sucks because I bought the A1, which was brand new. But like the Lamborghini, it was the first, or I felt like the first real new car that I'd bought. I just didn't want an off-the-shelf aftermarket exhaust. I wanted to make it sound how I think that the Huracan should sound.
Yeah. Yeah, because you only get to pick from, let's say there's 10 people who make really good exhaust from these. You pick from what they think it should have sounded like. Whereas you can say, look, I want high tones at certain revs, I want this, that, and you can have exactly what you're looking for.
I was blown away when I heard it, because it's all well and good saying I want a smooth idle all the way through the revs in a very high pitched tone that screams with the V10. Yeah. But you have nothing to go by on YouTube to hear what it would actually sound like. So I was blown away when the actual results.
We can turn here, I think. Yeah. Yeah, no, it does sound amazing, and the pops and bangs. And actually, you know what? I'm going to lower the window one last time so you guys can get a final little teaser of what this car sounds like with the Brooks Race exhaust, naturally aspirated V10, which is very important as well.
70% of the torque at 1,000 RPM.
Ah, interesting.
It will slap you in the head like all Lambos should.
It really does. Okay, let's do this. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, absolutely unbelievable. So that's what you've had done to the car. And in terms of the actual car, are you happy with it? Did it deliver what you wanted it to deliver?
It's more than I could have ever dreamed, because like when I was a lot younger, like my dream car, like a lot younger, was buying a Mercedes CLK.
Okay.
Like, because I like the look of it. Yeah. But then like I started to get into the sports cars, and obviously Ferrari and F1, I was like, oh, I really want a Ferrari, but I know that I can never afford one. So what about like buying a Vauxhall VX220? And I went into a Ferrari dealer when I was about 12 and asked whether you could fit a Ferrari V12 into something like a Vauxhall VX220 or a Lotus Elise. Because I was like, that's the only way that I'm going to be able to have the imagine driving a low sports car with Ferrari power. Yeah, yeah. Those Vauxhalls are very cool though. Yeah.
I was the same as you when I was like 15 and stuff. I followed one in a tunnel in Monaco. Yeah. And I was like, that is the car. And it had some exhaust on it. So it's delivered everything you want, drivability wise.
Oh, it's so good in town, it's so good on the motorways, and it's so good on roads like this. Like, it does. Basically, the Gallardo was like super scary, super intimidating, and I don't think that my driving skills were good enough to drive that car. I kind of didn't do it justice, the ownership justice. But then when I bought the GTS, I was like, oh my god, you can drive this car every single day and it's still an animal. But then combine those two together and you've got this car.
It's the most sort of usable and well-rounded Lambo they've ever made. And which is why the Performante is actually so interesting, because you get that brutality as well, which you get in Lambos, but with the usability of the Huracan. With
you need the roof off though on the Performante.
That Performante Spider would be mad. Okay, now moving on to that, to our final point and the main key bit of this video and the title. What do you think you're going to do in the future? What would you ideally like to do, whether that be wrap, exhaust, rims, lowering, even making it into a 4x4, screw it, do anything. What would you love to do to this car in the future?
Exclusive Seb Delanney YouTube channel.
Exclusive Seb Delanney.
As soon as I get back to the UK, I'm putting a chainsaw to the roof and making it a spider.
Yeah, good shout.
But not like a fabric. I'm just going to cut this bit off so it's a Targa, so I can
you're right.
A bit like the Corvette.
Kind of like the Lotus.
And then making it Liberty Wall.
Yeah. I think you should make it one-wheel drive as well.
That'd like drift mode in the Focus RX. Yeah. In all seriousness, the key points throughout my planned ownership of this car, I definitely want to wrap it at some point, because as great as this colour is from factory, I always like to try and think outside of the box and design something that is a little bit different, that hasn't really been done before, as you might have been able to see from some of my previous runs.
And with the
M3, with the satin black chrome on the AMG GTS.
Things that are personal to you, sort of one-off.
Exactly. So I definitely want to try something, because the Dash 2 is quite a rare car as it is. I think that there are some really cool things that you can do to this car, just from a wrap perspective. I can even change and muck around with the stripe. I would love to get some aftermarket wheels. I spent way too long on HRE, because they just build so many awesome designs, and you can have them in any colour. So
they are very, very cool.
I would love to do aftermarket wheels. I would love to do at least one wrap.
Yeah, some sort of wacky wrap.
During my ownership. And I've been looking at sort of aesthetic enhancements to the bodywork, like carbon splitter, side skirts, and I've got my eye on the RSC tuning kit. They do a rear diffuser side skirt. Just something that pushes the boundaries of what OEM should be. To just make it that little bit more unique and less usable. Yeah.
Effectively, that's what you would do. But I mean, that would be mad if you had some wacky wrap, quite crazy wheels, a bit of engine tuning, and somewhat of a body kit. It would just be mind-blowingly good. So I fully support you in every single one of those decisions. I think it would
maybe
just be crazy.
Do black tailpipes as well, because everyone wants.
Yes, that's the one thing I would do. Black exhaust tips, I think, would look fantastic on this car. But I mean, I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you for having achieved this.
It's crazy.
And just in general, it's so cool. I love this car. I love the spec on it. I love how you've made it sound. It's not over the top. It's just
it's not it's not ear burstingly loud like that guy Arlo was.
No, it's absolutely fantastic.
Proof that I might be grown up.
Yeah, maybe. Well, maybe. Then you do have that info.
I'm gonna put it on there, right?
But no, it's mad. I mean, I drove the R8, which is probably, when people mention that to you, like, it's like, no, don't talk about the R8 like that. But I mean, it must be somewhat similar.
Yeah, and drive the R8 V10 Plus and then take out the front drive shaft, and then you got this.
And then you got this, exactly. So I was super impressed with that. So I'm sure it drives amazing. Obviously, we're not going to talk about that too much today because I haven't driven the car, but it's absolutely fantastic. So well done for this. It's an interesting video. It's a different kind of video than I've done before, but I just want to have a chat with you because I know a lot of my viewers will be wondering why you got this car and why you're going with it. And that too, yeah. So anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming to Monaco as well. And thank you guys for watching. I'll see you I can't speak. Please remember to subscribe to Paul's channel as well, which will be down below. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Quit capsating, serenading them hoes. There's no Juliet.